What's up, guys? Nick from Famous Racing Customs here, and doing a little bit of an update on the 65 Chevy pickup. Um, so I went and I thought I'd had a new can of clear. Apparently I didn't, so I decided to go ahead and try using the old can of clear that I had been using to do all the clear coating for the last. It would be the Chevelle Pro Street, the Monaco, and this truck, and I believe that's it as of right now. Um, so, just ended up with one slight problem that is quite literally buffing out, which is I'll show you on the bed of the pickup. That fog right there. I don't know why it fogged up in just not like the most inconvenient places, like right there. This is going to be the hardest part. That and this tub right here. But yeah, it just fogged for no reason. I mean, I did the same thing like I always do. I warmed up the can, super hot water, 5 minutes, shake it, 5 more minutes, and then go out. And I mean, it's sprayed on like normal, and I think I was just at the bottom of the can and I didn't have, I don't know, it was weird, but it was like that on here. And then on the cab of the truck, which you can still slightly see it right there. It's not too bad. It is buffing out, and I'll have to buff this body a few times to get it to really come out. But it is working. It is buffing out slowly but surely. And if this doesn't work completely, then well, I get paid this weekend. I can go buy some more buffing pads from Hobby Lobby, and since I've already used them all up because I wasn't smart with my first batch, and already worn through an entire set of them. But hopefully I won't have to. Like I said, it's looking pretty good. It's not as, I mean, it's super shiny. It looks really good. It's just when light hits the foggy parts, you can see how it just spreads out. Whereas, you know, it's almost crystal clear there. So, and it kind of gives it a realistic look, because if any of you guys out there have ever had a black vehicle, you know how hard it is to keep the swirls out of the paint. It's damn near impossible not to have swirled black paint. So, but the hood, I mean, that was the first thing I shot, and it came out absolutely perfect. Other than my fingerprints, because my hands are greasy and I keep touching this thing, and whoops, there we go. So, but this will get a light buffing too, just to match all of the swirl that I'm creating on here. So, but yeah, so, but like I said, yeah, it's literally buffing out. So, and then, let's see. That's gonna be it. I've been working on a little bit on the 49. There's a 49. I don't remember anymore. Let me turn this off real quick. Alright. The 48 Ford Custom. As you can see, the box is open. I went ahead. I gotta do a little bit of touch-up painting on the steering wheel. But I went ahead and painted up the interior and got it all put together. Just something, you know, just to do something kind of different but kind of not at the same time. Kind of makes it look like vinyl, you know. vinyl and cloth, or leather and cloth maybe, I don't know. But red and white, I'm at a flat, so I use the shiny stuff, which is okay. Um, just kind of basic detailing right now, because this is going to be pretty much just a box stock build. I might lower the suspension a little bit if I can. As for my nasty stuff, I didn't get new purple power. I'm using old purple power, which is like a year old. And I don't know if you can see it, but it has gelatined up from sitting for a year. I'm assuming it doesn't seem to be hurting anything, because the Ford's right there. It's almost done, but that Rust-Oleum primer is about impossible to break through. It's actually rather annoying. That's the 57 Chevy, because I have some more stuff that I wanted to do and repaint it, but that's gonna have to sit for a lot longer. That's cheap Walmart paint, and yeah, so that stuff is fantastic. I mean, it's been sitting about almost a week now, and nothing. In fact, if tomorrow, if there's no change tomorrow, then I'll pull it out, clean it off, and I'll give it a quick easy sand just to kind of break it, so it can get in there and break it up and get it off the body. Man, it is just ridiculous on there. You know, and like I said, this primer, this has been sitting in the same amount of time, and the paint's coming off fine, but man, the primer really is not. That's that filler primer from Rust-Oleum. So, I mean, it's coming off basically. Yeah, I've got my hands in it now. Yucky. That's probably not the smartest thing to do with the greaser, is stick your bare hands in it. So I'm gonna actually flip you guys up like this, and so what was I saying? Damn, I forgot. Oh, yeah, that primer. That Rust-Oleum filler primer, I mean, if you want something where you can just want to take it back down to the primer and everything will be copacetic, that's, well, I can't really say that for 100% for sure, because it looks like the last time I really looked at it, which was yesterday. It looks like it's peeling off in layers. Because I think I painted that car, or I primered it, the filler primer. Make sure I'm right side up here. Let's see if I turn this upside down. Everything stays upside down. Okay. So now I'm right side up. Alright. Sorry guys. Had to do a little bit of a test because I got a little lost in the light. So it looks like it's peeling. So however many times I primered it, which is 2 or 3 times, it looks like it's just coming off in that many layers, in spots, not the whole thing. So yeah. So there's that. There's the 67, which is or the 65 Chevy pickup, which I actually had to modify it a little bit more because the motor sat too far back at the and it still doesn't entirely fit all that properly, but the interior tub doesn't quite fit, and it's right here that it doesn't fit. And I've just tried to do everything short of heating up something and kind of trying to, but I don't want to do that if I don't have to. So basically what I had to do was toothpick right here. You can see I had to take my round file and file into the arm itself to get the header to clear correctly and sit in the proper place for the engine, or at least I hope it's the proper place, because it's there now. It's super glued in place, and it's where the engine mounts go, so all the engine mounts line up correctly. I did have to modify the frame a little bit on the engine mount side for it to work, but it is finally, after all this time, permanently in its home. So yeah, so that's how this has been going. Worked on this for just a tiny bit, mainly because I'm trying to get some detail, and I used this marker and forgot about this, but I used like a calligraphy marker that you can just kind of wipe off, and it made it look kind of dirty and gave it, you know, down to a point where I pretty much have to wet sand it once it's dry. But I went ahead and did this part of the wing, or both of them, and now you can see my troubles. So yeah, not quite sure how I'm gonna fix that, other than with a ton of wet sanding. And that really sucks because I don't want to wet sand that. It is, the lines in it are so shallow. And this is the birthday present for my mother that's now almost 6 months overdue. But I don't know how realistic that looks. Maybe some of you plain guys, Atomic Dog 32, just the kind of dirtiness of it all, if that looks correct or not. If it doesn't, please let me know so I can make sure this is 100% correct. My mom does work on a naval base, and the pilots, I'm pretty sure if it's not accurate, they will give her shit for days, just because they're pilots and they can. So please, I want that to be, I really do want that to be as accurate as I can physically possibly do. Atomic Dog 32, if you can get, I don't know, I'll do another video on that, and then later, it'll probably be this weekend if I do a video on that. If not, it'll be right after I get done with this video. But if I don't know, you got plane buddies or whatever, have them look at the video that I'm gonna do, and then like I said, I want things to be fairly accurate. There's a decal sheet that I have to order for that, because my hometown on the Navy base there, there's all these different VX numbers, and they actually have the sheet for the one in my hometown, and I want it to be accurate for my hometown. So, but mainly right now, I want the look of the plane, with the detail lines and everything. I want that to be as accurate as possible also. And I see, what was that? Oh. I see, like, in the pictures that they're not very prominent. And there's two different ways to paint this. The one that I know of in my hometown, it's just one solid color. There's no break that I know of. So, and I'll do a little bit more research, because if I have to go and airbrush over everything that I just did, I'll be kind of mad. But I'll do it. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll do another video on that. This one's now running long. So, anyway, so that's where I'm at. So 49 Ford Custom and the 57 body are in the purple pond, being a pain in my ass. The interior tub for the 48 Ford Custom is done. I'm going to do black on the bottom on the floor pan. This is one of those limited editions, so it's a very detailed kit. I love it. So I will do black on the centerpiece here, black on this floorboard, and then it's going to actually have a red chassis, because it's going to be black and red. And I'm going to get that black and red done right this time. I'm going to chalk it up to I'm going to get some, instead of using that automotive lacquer thinner that I have, I think I'm just going to get some mineral spirits. Something that doesn't have acetone in it, but will work as a lacquer thinner without acetone in it. Which I guess would be the cold lacquer thinner. I'm not sure. Maybe one of you guys can message me and let me know if the cold lacquer thinner that Dr. Cranky shows has acetone in it or not. Because I'd really like to know if it doesn't have acetone, because I think that's my problem, is it softened up the primer coat. So it was actually, the paint itself was dry, but the primer was soft, if that makes any sense. Because it kind of, that's how it was explained to me, and it didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me, because I mean, I've primered a vehicle, and I know it's different, but still, I mean, I primered a vehicle and used that same lacquer thinner and laid down, you know, a coat of paint, and nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing like that happened. So, but yeah. So, anyways, now that I ran this 17 and a half minutes, which is about 5.5 minutes than I actually wanted it to be, or I should say, sorry, I wanted it to be about a 5-minute video, and it never ends up being a 5-minute video. I don't know why. So, anyways, yeah. So that's my update for right now, and this is Nate from Famous Racing Customs, signing off.